So, Powell, it's been a bit of a longer weekend off for you guys. A few more days to reflect on the Bradford game. Still sort of positive reaction coming out of the back of that game?
Yeah, I think so. It was a bit of pressure on us, I think, from the week before, having lost to Featherstone. And obviously this game being a sellout at home, all that sort of came with that. And I thought the players handled it really well. And I thought the performance, both with and without the ball, was pretty solid. I still think there's a lot of improvement in us, but we put some smart stuff together. I thought we had some sort of standout individual performances, but as a collective, as a team, we look really strong.
Yeah, you were pretty scathing in your post-match press conference from the Featherstone game, especially around your half-backs, and I think we can definitely say that Mason Leno definitely stepped up in that Bradford game and was one of those players that was one of the standouts on Friday night.
There's always a job for those guys. Gailey and Mason are experienced players, and they manage the game. In terms of where they kick the ball and how we finish our sets. And it was a polar opposite, really, how we managed the game. I thought we executed really well. There were a couple of periods in there that we'd want to sort of move on a little bit quicker from errors, and we'd want to transition a little bit better defensively. But overall, I thought Mason stepped up massively. He had a really positive game. Thought his running game was dangerous, and it's something that I've been encouraging him to do a little bit more, because that's where he's really, really dangerous. And I think then he becomes a really potent and well balanced half back pairing with Luke Gale. So I was pleased with Mason.
Yeah, we had some great news this morning, the announcement of Ky Rodwell joining us from the Parramatta Eels. It's been a deal that's been in the offing for quite a few weeks now. I think it's sort of leaked out there a little bit. How pleased are you to get Ky over the line and in for 2024?
Yeah, it gives us some real strength in depth. I think we have been a little bit skinny, and if we get a couple of injuries in the middle unit, then it puts us under pressure. So I think to get Ky over the line, who's a young middle forward who's played some NRL but not a massive amount, I do think he's a good. He complements the players that we've already got. And I'm looking forward to getting him over. Hopefully he'll be over this week at some point and getting training with us, and obviously we've got a bit of time, see how he handles training leading up to the Featherstone game. But I'm looking forward to seeing him here, and then it's competition for places is always valuable. I think we'll potentially get Ian Thornley back for our next game, and that's another in our outside backs, depth and competition for places, which we've lacked a little bit over the initial part of the season. Then that should really add to us, that I think.
What do you see Ky bringing to this team? What sort of player is he, just for the fans at home that have maybe not seen him play too much?
I just think he's a goer. He carries the ball really well. He's got a high energy defensive game. He can pass the ball as well. His skill set's pretty good, but I just see him as being like a real high energy player who other players feed off. He's got a great work rate about him, and as a middle unit player, that's where you get put under so much pressure. And every time I've watched him play, he does his job so effectively, and like I say, he's got a big engine, and that's really important for those guys.
There were a couple of other teams interested in him, obviously, especially from the Super League. Beating those guys out and kind of securing his signature for this year and for 2025, how great is that for a club that's been relegated, and how great is it, a bit of an applause for your recruitment side of things with Steam Hills, obviously identifying the player and having these conversations with agents and players?
Yeah, I think the data side of it, and really looking hard at players that are doing well, whether it's in the New South Wales or Queensland Cup, or it's in the NRL with Ky being at Parramatta. That's really important, and being proactive really. We've been super proactive, and we've had to be in terms of the middle unit, because we had so few players when we first came on board. So Steve being able to get Isaiah Vanganar over here, and Caleb Whaley, who have been really strong performers for us. That sort of proactive recruitment is really important, and that's where that's where I think Steve's been really good in terms of getting out, getting the information that he needs, get in touch with agents, get all the background information that you need on a player, which is really fundamental. Making sure that you understand the player as close as you possibly can. You never really do until you get them into your system, but all that proactive work makes a big difference.
We're about 6-7 weeks into the season now, and it's a little bit strange to say that we've only just played our first actual league game of the year. How have you found this start to the season?
Probably similar to the players. It's been a little bit awkward. You're jumping in and out of different competitions. Obviously, we got knocked out of the Challenge Cup, which you don't want that to happen. But I do think it gives us a little bit of breathing space, and the league is obviously paramount. We're still in the 1895 Cup, and we've got a semi-final against Bradford, which will be a tough game. But the comps that are pivotal for us this year, I think, the 1895 Cup and the Championship. So the start to the season gave us a chance to put some combinations in place, which have grown and developed. But we've won one game by over 100 points. That's never going to be great for a team, I don't think. I think probably that's what got us, as much as anything, against Featherstone. So I would say to the boys afterwards, if you didn't know what it was about, you're doing now. So it's been good. We've had our noses smacked, and we've had to respond, and thought the boys did that well. And then it's about creating some consistency now, and really setting our standards, both with and without the ball. And we're working hard on that. Coaching staff are working hard. We're constantly reviewing players and looking for little bits of development in them as individuals, and then obviously the team grows from that. So yeah, it's been good. It's like I say, it's been a little bit frustrating at times. Just motivation for players is quite tough when you're playing against teams or you're going to be. We played when we played at Siddle, and we're only 12-6 at half time, but you click your fingers and you just blow a team away, and that's never great for a team. But ultimately we've come through that now, and we've got a tough championship. You can see from results over the weekend. York get beat. Featherstone scraped through at Batley after being 18-0 down. You can't go anywhere and expect that it's just going to happen, and we certainly know that now.
Yeah, you mentioned the toughness of the Championship. There's some very good players and some very good teams in this competition, and we're probably going to see some close games and some exciting games. How much are you looking forward to battling out in this league with these teams and the amount of talent that's knocking about?
Yeah, you take Doncaster as an example. I haven't really spoke about them. Beat York at the weekend, and they've signed a lot of really good players who've played Super League rugby. Reece Lynn as an example from Wakefield. So they're a team who've got a lot of good players. Sheffield have done the same. York obviously, Bradford, and Featherstone. So it's going to be different, and so, you go into different grounds every week that aren't, they're different. They're some really tight pitches. Changing rooms are not always, the best, but you've got to just go and grab hold of it and do what you need to do every week, and don't get too far ahead of yourselves, because if you do, you get what happened at Featherstone. A team that is a little bit more motivated than you and ends up getting over the top here, and we can't allow that to happen.
You mentioned the 1895 Cup semi-final that's coming up in May. Obviously we head over to Bradford for that one. The prospect of potentially playing at Wembley, how exciting is that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's different, isn't it? 'Cause it's the 1895 Cup, it's not the Challenge Cup final, but it's still, you're in a competition where you have certain things to play for, and we're perceived to be the best team in this competition. We have to be getting after these competitions and making sure we finish in exactly where we need to, and that's not going to be easy, but that has to be our mentality. And this game against Bradford, we know will be tough. We've already had a look at them. Pretty physical. I thought they were a little bit unlucky with their injury situation. And they show that they can play. I've watched them quite a bit and seen some of the little bits that they throw at you with Gaskill and Lilly, you know, good quality players. I like the fullback. He's really good. Like Myers on the wing. They're talented boys. So yeah, but ultimately we've got to do what we need to do, and that's play to our potential. And if we do that, then it's for other teams to worry about us.
It's a week off at the moment for you guys, but there's still training going on, and you're still kind of putting a lot of things in place, ready for that Featherstone game on Good Friday. Are you looking to sort of right some wrongs from the Challenge Cup game and look to go and sort of get over Featherstone in the league?
Yeah, well, 100%. I mean, I don't think they'll need any motivation for that. That'll be pretty clear. We just need to go and play our game and do what we do, and we're working hard this week, just sort of tidying up some of the areas that we think we can be better at. That's individually and collectively. Some of the bits from the Bradford game, and we'll take that with us. And both players will be pretty heavily motivated for that game. And but that doesn't do it on its own. You've got to play well, and we know that'll be another tough game. But we'll enjoy this week, and boys have a bit of fun in there. But work hard as well, and focus on some detail things that we feel like we can be better at. And then we'll roll into that game and really get after it.
Cheers, Powell.